Kelly, you've written, can you talk a little about what we tell our children about all of this? About good and bad, about God? How do you explain it? Gosh, that's a really good question. Um, my view is just be see it's very difficult with children because you've got to communicate with them in a way that they understand and it makes sense to them. That isn't overcomplicating things and isn't unnecessarily introducing to things that they don't need to be introduced to. But at the same time, that does push them slightly and encourage them and stimulate them. So I can't really answer that question. I think just be true to yourself. Don't be don't be pretentious. Don't pretend to know something you don't know. Be honest and open. Be honest with what you do know and what you don't know. I think that's it really. And approach them with love and respect. Actually, I'm going to go off topic, which I very rarely do actually, in terms of I want to talk about something not necessarily directly related to spirituality, but more to do with being a parent. So for those of you listening who are parents, especially if you've got younger children or children who are still children, meaning they're still like under 18, um, there's a wonderful method of parenting that I've come across recently that I really like and I think's really wonderful method. And it's called, let me get this right. Well, in the UK, there's a book called Calm Parents, Happy Kids. It's written by Dr. Laura Markham, I believe. And I think in the US, it's marketed under a slightly different title. And I can't remember what that is. The website is Aha Parenting. And it's a really, in my view, really open-minded, enlightened way of approaching being a parent. And it teaches you skills to manage stress and to understand your child and to form a deep connection with your child, a deep loving connection with your child. And it forms a framework around which you can help nurture a child to their potential without really forcing anything too much. At the same time, with this openness is also a sense of enforcing boundaries. It's very important for adults and children to know what their boundaries are, to know what they are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, and how they interact with you, what they're allowed to, how to interact with you and how they shouldn't interact with you in terms of respect, in terms of kindness and compassion and love. So do check out, I think it's Aha Parenting, just as an aside. So just be true to yourself, be honest with your child. Give them a sense of wonder and curiosity. Teach them to look and think for themselves and to question and not to accept everything at face value. And at the same time, if you connect with your child and you are loving and respectful towards your child and you enforce those boundaries and you listen, then you are teaching your child to do the same to yourself and other people. And that is a wonderful foundation for a spiritual life.